The world's oldest travel company, Thomas Cook, just went bust, and in today's video, I'm looking at why that happened, but more importantly, what we as business owners can learn from it. Let's go. Alright guys, welcome to the video today. Hope you're doing really well. Today's content is a little bit of a shift from what I would normally do. Normally look at tactics for selling on Amazon, building a business on Amazon over the last sort of year. That's been a lot of the focus, but really just thinking about where this YouTube channel is going and what I'm passionate about. Really is trying to help business owners, trying to help entrepreneurs build businesses that make an impact in the world, to free you up from the grip that money places over time. And that really does spread beyond just Amazon. Amazon is not the thing I'm passionate about. It's one of the things. It's a tool, it's a means to an end, but Amazon itself is not the end. Actually building great businesses that free you up, that help you make an impact, that's the end, that's the goal of everything that I'm doing. So I'm going to continue to do a whole bunch of stuff about Amazon, tips, tricks and tutorials. The best in the game are still going to be here on this channel, but every now and then I'm going to throw some sort of business tips and finance tips in here that hopefully you're going to enjoy, and it's going to round out the experience of this channel. So if you want that kind of thing, if you want more of that, if you want to, really do want to build a business that makes an impact in the world and does free you up from that grip that money can so easily place on your time, then make sure you are subscribed, because I've got some great things coming your way. But as I said, in today's video, we're going to look at the collapse of Thomas Cook. It's a real tragic story, and it's affected a lot of people throughout the UK, Europe, and even the world. I heard on the radio this morning, it's a couple of weeks since really the news broke, so I'm a little bit slow on this video, but I heard on the radio this morning that the last people that have been away on Thomas Cook holidays are being flown back, repatriated by the Civil Aviation Authority, who give like the atoll guarantee for the Thomas Cook holidays, and so they've just been flown back today, the last people, and so it kind of brings that chapter to a close. And so I know there's been a lot of people affected. Really, the most tragic thing is obviously the people that have lost their jobs. So really, in the midst of this, everything that's gone on with this story, those are the people I really feel for. I know there's lots of people that have missed out on holidays, and actually, us as a family have lost a holiday because of this. We're, going to get refunded, but by the time it all kind of played out, the prices to go, we were going to be going to Greece, and the prices to go there were going to be like double what they were because of the laws of supply and demand, like flipping capitalists, right? And then when we went to look at rebooking something for a similar price, it was just, super trash options available, just because there was obviously such a rush, and I wasn't quick enough on the move to rebook. So we're not going to be going on that holiday now, and so I'm not going to sit here and moan about that, obviously, because there's people far worse off than us that have lost jobs, etc. And they're the people I really feel for. But we have been affected by it. I don't know, maybe you've been affected by it. If you have been affected by it, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Have a vent. I know it's frustrating for everyone when this happens, and that's kind of why I want to talk about this today, because this Thomas Cook collapse has affected a lot of people. And when we start our entrepreneurial journey, we can sometimes think it's just about us. It's about freeing us up from the grind, the 9 to 5. I want to have my own business, play life by my own rules, which is nothing wrong with that. But what I want to encourage you to do, and what I want this channel to be about, is actually building businesses that make an impact. I don't just believe that building business should just be about getting money for you to live the life you dream of, although that's part of it. But I actually believe that you can combine passion, purpose, and impact with your income. So you don't just have to make an income and then make an impact some other way in your life, but the business that you run can be what makes an impact in the world. And so what I want you to realize is that actually your business is going to affect a lot of people down the line. And if one day your business goes through the same thing that Thomas Cook is going through right now, then that wouldn't be a good thing. So what can we as entrepreneurs learn from what Thomas Cook has gone through in order to future-proof our business and make sure that we don't make those same mistakes? So that's what we're looking at today. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to throw up on the screen here a screenshot of a news article that I was reading at the time of the Thomas Cook collapse. And as I was reading it, for me, I'm seeing some glaringly, I don't want to say obvious, sounding like I know it all, because I've not run a business the size of Thomas Cook. But for me as a business owner, I'm sitting there looking at those things, 3 things in particular that just have shocked me. And I think it's really important that we talk about those things to make sure that we don't suffer the same fate in our businesses. So we're going to look at this article. I'm going to read some of the quotes from it, and then we're going to look at exactly what my thoughts are on why those are such sort of major errors in this journey. 3 of them. I've got 3 to give you. We're going to fire through. Here we go. Okay, at the start of the article, or at the start of the screenshot, it says it was I think it was the CEO that they're talking about, or chief executive. It was he who embarked on a merger with My Travel, the struggling package holiday firm previously known as Air Tours, in 2007. That business subsequently turned out to be far weaker than expected, and then this year Thomas Cook was obliged to write down the value of the old business by some over £1 billion. And so the first thing that went wrong for Thomas Cook was a lack of analysis. So I'm sure they would have done their due diligence, but what just really strikes me about this is that there must somewhere along the line been a lack of key analysis. And a lack of analysis can be one of the major pitfalls in growing a business that has longevity. I've had to learn this the hard way in the early days of building business, as excitement and enthusiasm got the better of me, and I had some success, and I dove into some things too early, too quickly, with too much passion and enthusiasm, and it actually slowed the growth of my business down because I didn't perform the amount of analysis I should. And what so often can happen with entrepreneurs, especially in the early days, is that our initial success can actually hamper us from having the long-term success that we truly desire. We have that initial spurt of success, and we think that we are unbreakable. We think we're invincible, and so we try everything and anything as quick as possible, only to find out that what we didn't learn during those minor successes were some of the building blocks we needed for the major successes. And so if we're going to avoid going down the same route as Thomas Cook, we really need to make sure that we as business owners perform due diligence and detailed analysis whenever we're starting new projects, launching new products, acquiring areas of business, so on and so forth. All right, number 2, I want you to see further down in the screenshot where it says that the mistake was compounded when in 2010, Thomas Cook agreed to merge its high street travel agents with those of the Co-op. This deal eventually evolved into an effective takeover of the Co-op business, saddling Thomas Cook with a huge chain of high street travel agents just as the business was migrating online. And that final portion of the sentence is the most key of that whole block of text. Just as the travel industry was migrating online. You see, there was a failure to adapt. Number 2 is there was a failure to adapt. Thomas Cook, they acquired a load of high street travel agents as the business was moving online. They didn't see, they didn't predict, they didn't move with the times in the realization that more and more people were booking holidays online. And because of that, they were saddled with all of these retail stores, which were a huge drain on their cash flow, which were a huge drain on their productivity and their profitability. And now the good news for most of you watching this is that you are aware of this. You know that online is the place to be, and you're actively building a business online, which is a great thing. But the worst thing that you could do with that is say, well, I'm building a business online, so I have adapted. What you need to know about the online business world is it moves fast. It changes and it adapts far quicker than any high street business you could ever imagine. Things move so quickly, especially when it comes to Amazon. Things are always changing. You know, one of the most common things and most frustrating things I see is that people want to start a business on Amazon, and they've watched old, outdated YouTube videos, and they think that they can still import some plastic crap from China in a poly bag, put a black and white logo sticker on it, and become a millionaire overnight. And it frustrates the crap out of me because actually people aren't adapting, people aren't moving with the times. That's not possible anymore. What you actually need to do if you want to build a successful business on Amazon is treat it like any other business. Do analysis, do research, put the work in, have a marketing budget to market new products. So much that just goes into normal everyday business that people ignore because they think that Amazon is this get rich quick scheme. Well, it's not anymore. You need to adapt. You need to build a real business on Amazon. So as business owners, we need to have this ability to adapt. We need to have this eye for when times are changing and times are moving. And one of the great ways you can do that is actually by keeping current with channels like this and many others that actually give you the latest and greatest tips, tricks, and tutorials. So if that is something you want to see more of, then make sure you do subscribe down below with notifications on, because I've got plenty more videos coming your way. All right, and thirdly, last but not least, thanks for sticking with me so far. If you have liked it so far, make sure you do hit that like button, just to let me know that you're liking this kind of stuff and that I can continue to do more of it that hopefully will help you build a real business on and off Amazon that's going to help you make an impact in the world and be freed up from that grip that money places over time. All right, the third one is this, that the upshot was that Thomas Cook earlier this year admitted that it had debts of £1.6 billion. The annual interest payment, this is insane, the annual interest payment on that debt was £150 million. That was £150 million that Thomas Cook had to come up with each year before it could even think about investing money in his business, let alone making a profit. Now, statistics would show that many of you watching either have now or have in the past dealt with a fair amount of unsecured debt in your life, whether that be credit cards, store cards, loans, car loans, whatever that may be. You either are now or have done at some stage experience what that feels like. Now, obviously, there's a clear difference between having some manageable debt and having unmanageable debt, or even, as this article says, is being burdened by debt. But for those of you that have experienced what it feels like to have that sense of burden by debt, you will know that it is a horrible, horrible feeling. I'm going to make a video at some point about the 2 times I was broke. You know, once when I didn't have any money, and then once when I had money and didn't know how to manage money, right? And, you know, in those 2 seasons of my life, I've learned a lot about what it means to be burdened by finances, and sometimes of that by debt. And it's not a nice feeling. It's a horrible feeling, because as you will see from what they've said about Thomas Cook, it limits your options. It completely stifles your ability to be able to grow your business, to be able to enjoy the profits. And the last thing that you want to do is build a business that you can't profit from. Honestly, what is this all about if you personally or as a business become burdened by debt to a point where you're not able to enjoy the profits that your business makes? And now I understand there's a hustle season, there's a phase where you're just starting, where it's hustle, 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 and you know, you do all those things, and that's great. But please, in the midst of that, please don't get burdened by debt. Please don't just assume that everything you do is going to work so you can just finance it through debt. Please don't just assume that everything you do is going to go well without any hitches, without any challenges, and that you can just bankroll it with high interest debt. Please don't do that. Please build a business in a conscientious way that creates margin, that allows your business to grow and your life to be changed. Financial management is a huge part of building a successful business. It's going to be something that I'm going to begin to talk about more on this channel, both from a business perspective and also a personal perspective, because I want to see you win over the long term. I don't want to just see you hit 10 grand a month on Amazon, or you get 3 successful products. I don't care about what I care about is your future, your impact, your freedom. And that's why we're going to continue to talk about those things, but in the bigger context of building successful business, making an impact, and having true freedom. So if you are looking forward to that, make sure you are subscribed, turn those notifications on, because I've got a great deal of content coming your way, which I'm really excited about. If you like the video, please do hit the thumbs up below. And if you've seen anything in the Thomas Cook collapse that I haven't covered or I haven't considered in this video, let me know below and we can have a discussion in the comments. All right, I'll see you in the next video real soon.